Let's open the book on this. What event brings together champions from different brands in an epic showdown that fans have awaited for years? It's WWE Night of Champions 2026.
Hey there, I'm Garrett, feeling really pumped about today's topic.
And I'm Leah, excited to dive into this championship extravaganza. Welcome to Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett.
All right, let's set the stage for this one. We're talking WWE Night of Champions 2026, a stakes-heavy premium live event filled with title fights, tournament finals, and a triple threat for the top prize. Here's a thought I've been turning over. When I was a kid, my uncle took me to a live WWE show. I remember the lights hitting, the entrance music kicking in, and the entire building vibrating. I was just this wide-eyed kid who could barely see over the sign I made, and when a championship match came on, the atmosphere changed. It felt like, every cheer had weight. That energy is why nights like this still hit me years later. It's not just the matches, it's the feeling that something big is about to be decided.
Let's set the scene for this one. Night of Champions is a WWE premium live event, which basically means a major show fans can buy to stream or watch on pay-per-view. Traditionally, the hook was every championship being defended, so it's like a one-night trophy parade where everything matters. Think of it as the Super Bowl energy of wrestling. Not one game decides the season, but the stakes and spectacle feel that big. It started in 2007, paused after 2015, then got revived in 2023. By 2026, it returned to Saudi Arabia at Kingdom Arena in Riyadh with a compact 6-match card focused on titles and two tournament finals. That's pretty cool, right?
Let me paint the picture for you. The 2023 revival was strategic. WWE has a long-term partnership in Saudi Arabia under the Vision 2030 umbrella, so bringing Night of Champions back there gave it global weight. Fast forward to 2026, you've got a dual-brand show, meaning talent from Raw and SmackDown, WWE's two main rosters, collide on one card. And the distribution was a story by itself. In the United States, it streamed on ESPN's direct-to-consumer app. Internationally, it was on Netflix in most regions, SuperSport in Sub-Saharan Africa, and ABEMA in Japan. It was the first Night of Champions on ESPN in the US, which signals WWE's post-Peacock era. For a business nerd like me, that's a big media shift.
Okay, here's where we go next. The show leaned into title-centric storytelling while also hosting the finals of King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, single-elimination tournaments that crown a winner. In 2026, the winners earned a world title match at SummerSlam, which is one of WWE's biggest shows of the year. The new wrinkle was choice. Winners could pick which world title to challenge, not just the belt on their own brand. That's like a chess piece that can move across the board, not just straight lines.
Speaking of which, the King of the Ring final opened the show. Oba Femi, a rising powerhouse from Raw known for freakish strength, faced Jey Uso, a veteran fan favorite who broke out as a singles star after years in the tag scene. There was no interference, which surprised a lot of folks. Femi took multiple Uso splashes and super kicks. Jey even kicked out of one, but Femi ultimately dropped him with fall from grace for the clean win. That interference-free choice said, "We are investing in Femi long-term." And it worked. The guy felt like a made man by the final bell.
Then came the Queen of the Ring final. Io Sky, a high-flying technician with a fearless style, faced Liv Morgan, who was already Raw's Women's World Champion. Liv tried to go double champ if she won, which tells you how high the ceiling was with that choose-any-title rule. In the match, Morgan targeted Sky's knee, selling a focused game plan. Io powered through the damage and won with Over the Moonsault. Immediately after, she called her shot for SummerSlam, naming Morgan's Women's World Championship a mic drop moment. Quick note, Danhausen, a comedic wrestler known for his quirky curses, popped up earlier in the night to, in quotes, curse Liv. It was funny and also one of those beats that some fans thought foreshadowed the result.
Let's switch it up to the grudge match. Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker in a steel cage. A steel cage is exactly what it sounds like, a mesh cage around the ring to keep people in and others out. Their feud goes back to a faction called the Vision. a group that formed and then imploded, with Breakker turning on Rollins. After interference cost Rollins at WrestleMania and Breakker beat him again at Backlash, the cage was billed as the final chapter. The match used a ton of weapons: tables, chairs, kendo sticks. There was a superplex from the top of the cage through a table, and Breakker bled from his left eye. Rollins won with a second rope stomp. Spectacle-wise, nailed it, but people debated whether having the veteran win cooled Breakker's momentum. I get both sides. It looked star-making for Braun, but the scoreboard says Seth.
Moving right along to the mid-card titles, Trick Williams, the United States champion from SmackDown, defended against Ricky Saints, a crafty newcomer who leapfrogged Carmelo Hayes to earn the shot. Trick came out with recording artist Lil Yachty, a chart-topping rapper and noted WWE fan. Saints pulled a slick trick, staging a fake kendo stick incident to get Yachty tossed from ringside. Even with that mind game, Trick survived a Revolution DDT and won with the trick shot. Then the Women's United States Championship, Tiffany Stratton, an emerging heel whose character is all glam with sharp offense, defended against Jade Cargill, a powerhouse athlete. The finish was chaos. Chelsea Green popped up from under the ring, B-Fab and Mission brawled in, and Charlotte Flair drilled Cargill with a belt shot. Stratton hit the prettiest moonsault ever for the win. Not everyone loved the interference train, but it absolutely knotted their rivalries tighter for summer TV.
Here's another angle to look at. All roads led to the main event. SmackDown's top prize, the undisputed WWE Championship, featured champion Cody Rhodes versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Quick intros. Cody is the defiant franchise babyface. Gunther is a dominant ring general with a bruising style. Zayn is the beloved underdog whose journey has spanned decades. The triple threat came after disputes. At Clash in Italy, a referee missed Gunther's foot under the rope in a Cody win. And then on SmackDown, special referee Sami Zayn counted a fast 3 for Cody. GM Nick Aldis restarted the match before it fell apart, so the triple threat was the clean slate. In the match, we saw layered storytelling. Zayn went through a table. Gunther powerbombed Cody onto the wreckage. In a rare sportsmanship beat, Zayn literally held Cody's arm up so the ref wouldn't stop the match during a sleeper. Then came the mind games. Zayn pulled the referee to break a Cody pin on Gunther, and later Cody returned the favor on Zayn after a Helluva kick. Finally, Zayn snatched a sudden roll-up on Cody to win the title. Gunther stayed protected by not being pinned. The crowd in Riyadh erupted for Zayn. It was a cathartic, career-defining moment.
That one gave me chills. Sami Zayn walked out as undisputed WWE champion, and that made him both a Triple Crown and a Grand Slam champion. In simple terms, he's collected the major singles and tag titles WWE recognizes, the full set. Critics from outlets like 411 Mania, Bleacher Report, CBS Sports, Forbes, and USA Today converged on that main event as the Nightmaker, even if the undercard had peaks and valleys. And to close the loop heading into SummerSlam, Io Sky already chose Liv Morgan's Women's World Championship. Obafemi now has a world title shot waiting, and post-show, Gunther got into a physical confrontation with SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis, keeping him hot without taking the pin. That is a lot of runway for the summer.
While we're on a roll, there's a lingering question. That missed call at Clash in Italy with Gunther's foot under the rope. Quick definition. A rope break is when a wrestler reaches the ropes to stop a pin or submission. If the ref misses it, the result can be tainted. And then there was the fast count by special referee Zayn on SmackDown. A fast count is exactly what it sounds like, speeding up the 3 count to end a match quicker than normal. Those controversies fed the triple threat. But here's my question. Did that kind of officiating drama add cool intrigue, or did it undercut the sense that wins and losses are clean? I'm kind of torn.
Let's unpack this. For me, the controversy added spice. In wrestling storytelling, or kayfabe, which means the fictional narrative we all agree to play along with, messy officiating can escalate tension. It gave Gunther a legitimate grievance without making Cody look weak, and it set Zayn on a collision course with both of them. That feels like the good kind of complication. Real talk, without that spark, maybe the triple threat does not feel as necessary. Why? Because the disputed outcomes justified putting 3 elite names together in one definitive match.
That's a solid point. I still wonder about the balance. If you lean too hard on referee mishaps, fans might think results do not matter as much as the next swerve. But in this case, the triple threat finish paid it off beautifully. Zayn winning with a quick counter on Cody preserved Gunther, the ultra-protected powerhouse, and still gave us closure. So maybe the controversy was the bridge, not the destination. I can get behind that idea.
Switching gears just a little to pop culture beats, Lil Yachty's cameo at ringside gave the United States title match a crossover glow. He's a mainstream rapper, so that is smart synergy. And Danhausen's little curse moment before the Queen final, he's a cult favorite for his quirky humor. Those touches add variety. They can be polarizing, sure, but they widen the tent without hijacking the main stories.
All right, let's roll on to a what-if scenario. What if the 2026 Iranian strikes had forced WWE to cancel Night of Champions? For context, those tensions led Formula One to cancel both the Bahrain and Saudi Arabian Grands Prix that year. WWE ultimately proceeded in Riyadh, which doubled down on their 10-year partnership and kept story momentum intact. But say it had been called off, I think SummerSlam's build explodes into a reshuffle. Obafemi's crowning moment stalls, which risks cooling a rocket push. Io Sky's quick challenge to Liv Morgan delays, which could tangle the women's title picture. And the ESPN US streaming debut for this event gets bumped, losing a big media test case in the short term.
That's close to the heart of it. I would add the human side. Fans in Riyadh had a noticeable swell of energy for Sami Zayn, and that momentum helped make the main event magic. If the show were canceled, you lose that organic crowd spark and the emotional timing of Zayn's first undisputed WWE championship. Could you recreate it later? Maybe, but feelings are time-sensitive. And think of the tournaments. King and Queen finals are built for a coronation. If you postpone, you either do it on weekly TV, which is smaller scale, or you cram it into another premium live event. Either way, the glow changes. That's a thread worth pulling on.
Yeah, that checks out. It also affects brand fluidity. The show was dual brand with Raw finalists, but SmackDown's world title headlining. Canceling would scramble that post-draft cross-pollination WWE leaned into. You would have to decide whether to keep the triple threat together later or peel off singles matches. And honestly, the protective logic of the triple threat, where Zayn wins without pinning Gunther, is hard to beat. If you lose that moment, you risk a colder restart. Stay curious, folks.
And keep learning with us on Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett.